I realized that so many of my students, they couldn't get, like jobs or something like, train traineeship or anything else. And then so I decided to kind of an open a plasma kind of NGO or something like this. We start with, when I know you, I know Frank, I know, I can see Renzi here. Hello, Renzi. Do you have time? Do you have some place for one of my students? He's good in this and that. And then if you can have him, like you can try him with an internship of a month or two, and then so on and so forth. I started, doing that, and that was not enough. There was a lot of students who are really brilliant and even brilliant than me, I can say, and they just couldn't get the opportunity, to showcase or to show, that what the potential they have. And then so, I started digging down and, writing a proposal about building kind of an incubator of startup, a kind of a space where young people can come and hone their skill on entrepreneurship, innovation, and any kind of a place where people can listen to you. People can, you get the support you need. For example, we are a community of people. We have even refugees with us. We start, like, walking the talk of the African Union. We have some refugees living in Chad with us as founder of Chad Innovation. And then we are a community of people from different backgrounds. So if you need the skill on entrepreneurship, there are some people who are good at entrepreneurship. If you want a skill on any kind of thing, you will get the support from this community, and it's a free. And you will give back also as a support your time or your expertise or something like this. And then we start this in 2018. 2018, we organized the first Chat Innovation Summit. It was part of the, we won the reciprocal exchange program of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. I'm also a Mandela Washington Fellow. And then from that, we organized a 3 days gathering around, technology, innovation, entrepreneurship, human rights, and so many, teams of the new world, like working towards the SDGs and toward the Agenda 2063. And so, like, it was a 3 days, and we brought this fellowship brought us some young Americans from the United States I met during my time as a fellow. And then one is a under 30 entrepreneur, under 30 social entrepreneur, and the another one is a builder of community, because the notion of building community is kind of, we know it in our African context, but we never use it, we never show it up, and I found out that in the United States, when you gather people around a community project, it's called a community builders. So I brought one community builders and one things, and then we organized the Child Innovation Summit. That was, in 2018, and that's, let us, it's a 3 days at Radisson Blue Hotel. 3,000 young people gathered together. We had some international representation, and that was, we had a thanking letter from the president of Chad. Late president would die, President Deby. He wished us a good luck, and he said thank you for what you did, and it was a really wonderful time. So, and then, we've been working around, hackathon, and we do a lot of support, and mostly we are in non-for-profit NGO, fostering like a vibrant ecosystem for the creation and the growth of the innovation startup here in Chad. And my motto is, this one great guy, he wrote, you never change things by fighting the existing reality to change something, build a new model that make the existing model obsolete. And that's the motto, and that's the vision of child innovation, is to build something bigger than ourselves. And to build a community of young African people, together, and then come out with the innovative solution for the African context. So during the COVID-19, so far we did a platform giving assistance for people, like linking doctors with their WhatsApp, so people can, break the barrier of language, of writing down. So they were asking doctor, and it was one featured in the news in Chad. We organized so many hackathon. We are working on the gender-based violence. We have a platform for health center geolocalization. Basically, we are using technology towards, really implementing solution to the Chadian community or the Chadian, we contextualize the problem of Chad, and we contextualize, technology to solve local challenges. And then we are also a force of proposition, I can say, and with the UNDP, we are working with UNDP. We are working with so many embassies here. We work so far in the solution training journalism, the SOJO, who's helping the media ecosystem to be a source of solution, like SOJO, solution journalism. And we did a training with 10 journalism. And so we can say we are starting the solution journalism in Chad. We are also in the civic tech, mostly in the civic tech ecosystem. We are building so many platforms. So far, we built during the late president of Chad, when he died, we did a campaign using digital tools there was a time the president died in a war, and it was really difficult for the young people, and they start, everyone starting, on the social network. So we built a platform for a civic tech, sending message of peace and union for the Chadian community here and in the world. So, and that took us to become a civic tech, African ambassadorship with the Civic Tech and Innovation Network. We are their ambassador in the Central African Republic. We start a program called Tech for Chad. It's about, training people in the digital and doing some acculturation and working towards the tech for good in 2021. And then this took us to a schooling. Now we have our own school, teaching people digital, all the languages, Java and so on and so forth, SAP and so on and so forth. We have also a training for the people who doesn't know how to use a computer, kind of digital acculturation. And also we have a program partnership with people into the local people. Also, Chad is part of transition now. So we are also in the game of the transition. We did some sensibilization, citizen sensibilization on the people to get what is the national dialogue, why the national dialogue, and why it's important for the young people to be part of this national dialogue. It's end now, but we are still proposing a solution to have a follow-up on the recommendation of the national dialogues. And also we are building a platform that would hold, accountable our, government when they said, we want to do this and that. We want to gather all the information in one place, and together with journalists, with the civil society, we want to follow up on this. And we are also doing a lot of ongoing training conferences. We have the Chad Innovation Business Movie Show showing so many videos of people, doing businesses, and so many videos in business. And we took, at the end, we do some debate and what's the good and the bad of the movie. And yeah. So we are also in the peace building training during the festival of nomadic people. We are also using technology, like small group of WhatsApp, like training some local people. Like for example, we are training a lot of nomadic people to use WhatsApp, just to have a community between them and to solve so many yeah, so many. Oh, thank you. So no problem, Kajala. Have a good day. See you soon. So yeah, we also train refugees every year on like, yeah, every year we have some training on for refugees, because we believe, the African community, we have to be together in order to solve our local challenges. So we did a lot of building training and training on people can use, the Cobalt toolbox to gather, data, and we can analyze data on, geographical mapping or anything, like to plan the development. So yeah, we are part of the network, like the community is the French community of incubator. We are part of the Impact Hub network, and we are part of the AfriLab community. So we participate in so many conferences, the Youth Connect Sahel Forum, the Youth Connect, and so far we have what is really triggering us is, this community of open hardware and science. We are working on finding solution for the energy in Africa, and we have a kind of a prototype. We can maybe work on the Sahel region. It's a mobile energy box. It's a system designed on the production of clean mobile energy for multiple use. It's a small cart, equipped with solar panel and battery, and it's offered the user access to energy. So it's a mobile kind of energy for the people of Africa. And it's still the prototype, and maybe here we need some support, and we need some how can we use the hardware, how can we use the community of hardware in order to have an impactful and a meaningful prototype that can be use it in the African. Also, we don't have yet a maker space, but the idea is to have a maker space and then a mobile maker space to go inside chat to connect the connect. And this is also we need cooperation. We need people who are well gelled in these Fab Lab makerspace people to start our own. So if there are someone who is really interested in that, I can talk to him, and then we can take it forward. Also, we are want to build a digital touristic platform. We want to use drones and so many gadgets like IT, and to have a touristic platform, a digital guide for the tourism of Chad. And we need also expertise in this field. And I believe this community and hardware and science have this expertise. And I'm looking forward to maybe go more in details with people who are really interested in that. Also, we have a target of having a video mapping project. Like we want to gather like people around video mapping, but regarding environment, regarding peace and union. And so this is also, if there are some people specialized in this video mapping project, let's do it. And we have a lot of partners. We are part of the Global Entrepreneurship Network. We have FHE 360s. We are part of the Total Partnership. We are a good partnership with the government of Chad. And so what is really I want to make a point that I believe in the African communities. And when I decide to come back to Chad, because I believe in the African community, and together we can do a lot of things. And I think what is not available in Chad, maybe it's available in Ghana. And sometimes Chad is the problem is we speak French, in Arabic, and we are a landlocked country. We've been through a lot of challenges, but I believe, if I got the support from African communities, young people like you, like me, we can break all this barrier, and then we can work together. So I'm gonna end here, and maybe I wanted an interactive discussion. If you have questions, if you have recommendation, and if we can talk, about solution, open science, hardware, innovation, technology. I know Ghana is a model for us. I know a lot of countries are a model for us, and we don't need to invent the wheel. The wheel exists somewhere. Let's go and catch it and bring it back here and maybe adapt it together. So, guys, thank you for your time, and I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Hamid. Thank you so much for the presentation. Sophie has a hand up. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box, or you can just raise your hand. Sophie. Sophie, you can ask a question, please. Sophie isn't talking. Sad. Sad raised his hand. Sad, please, if you could. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So, Sophie, if you can hear me. Oh, okay. Sad, do you want to go? You want to ask a question?
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, Sad. Can you hear me?
Hi, thank you for sharing. Yes. I just had a very quick question. I absolutely love what you're doing, and I love what you're saying. I think it is in the right spirit of what we're doing in makerspaces. And the way forward is definitely together with cooperation and collaboration as much as possible. I just wanted to, maybe if you could share a little bit more about your thoughts on like the current challenges. You sort of hinted that the language barrier was a concern. Is there something else that comes up for you a lot as a barrier that you think we should maybe think about solutions around that's hindering progress on this?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, Chad, Chad is it's we go through a lot of challenges, Sad. It's a landlocked country. First of all, we don't speak English, so we are illiterate. I can say, we don't speak English. We are a landlocked country. Internet is the most expensive in the world. We don't have still, the cable. We have it, but it's very slow. We are going through a transition, like political situation. Our president died late in 2021 in April in a war. We are going through a transition, so it's a lot of challenges. But at the same times, for me, it's not a really a challenges, but for me, it's an opportunity. Like this is an opportunity for. I'm in a free, I can say, Virgin Island, and we can start, rebuilding Chad. We can start doing a lot of things from zero, and that's an opportunity for me. And I believe that's why I'm coming back. And I remember I was in a factory in Texas, in Austin, Texas, at the factory. It's one of the biggest incubator in the United States. And I met an American guy, and I was talking to them, and he said, "You guys are very lucky. You have everything. You have the support. You have internet. You have." And one say, "Can I say something?" And I said, "Yes, you are free. Let's go." And the guy says, "Hey, listen. Maybe in your country, innovation hub, maybe you are one or two. Maybe people like you can talk. Maybe are 10, 20, maybe 100%, maybe 200%. He said, like, for me to go to have the level of the startup, we are maybe 1 million in just the city of Austin, Texas. So yes, we are lucky in one side, but also we are really working hard, very hard, because the like the challenges are different. So you maybe are lucky also to have nothing there, and then you start, you will be the next pioneer of Chad in terms of technology or something like that. And this hit me hard. And since then, I always say, it's not a problem. It's just an opportunity. And if I get the right people, and I get the right technology, and I get the things, we are an open NGO. We are looking for business partner. I'm doing also a lot of business, this is I have so many hats. I'm doing a business with India and China. I am also by day, like you see behind me is the picture of the president of Chad. This is my official office. I'm leading the Chadian digital transition, So, yeah, but what I love is Chad Innovation, Chad Innovation is a non-for-profit, It's a way of giving to my community. And if there is anything that we can do, guys, feel free to reach me. I'm going to write my email. I'm going to give my phone number, my WhatsApp number. Let's discuss it and let's take it forward,
Fantastic. Thank you, Hamid. Anyone has any more questions? Okay. So Hamid, I also wanted to ask you one question. And looking at everything that you've talked about, how would you say is the open hardware ecosystem in Chad? How is the whole concept of open hardware being received in Chad? Is the Chadian innovation ecosystem accepting the open science movement? I want you to, from your experience, how would you say Chad is engaging with the open science movement?
Yeah, thank you for your question. That's a good question. As an African and as a landlocked country, I can say, the Chadian is in the middle of nowhere. So, for example, I'm using an old computer for 3 years now. So if there is something wrong in my computer, there are people who study, these electronic things, and we have a small, not yet a makerspace, but where we can go and check the motherboard and refurbish computers, do our thing. So I believe the open science hardware can support the the upgrade of the technology in the country, while people will understand how to solve. So in terms of maintenance, I believe the hardware and science community can do a lot. And also in terms of solution, you can contextualize, we can use technology, but we can contextualize this technology towards funding, meeting the challenge of the local problems, like, yeah, we can use, so many science, to build our own solution, to build our own, maybe small drone, our own, maybe computers, maybe a computer who's adapted to the Sahel region, maybe a computer who's, like not a computer, bought it by Europe or something, was in like built for the context of the Europe, but we can have our own, jerry can, a lot of refurbished thing, and we can, give them a lot of, maybe the timing, and it can be adapted to the Chadian, and the hardware community and science can really be a tool we can use to the gap, to reduce the gap between the north and the south, and between maybe between maybe African country, African. You, for example, in Ghana, you are open to the sea. You got a lot of maybe computers. We are not open to the sea. Everything come from Nigeria or from Cameroon. So it take a longer time. It's why not, build our own, maybe, refurbish a modern thing, or maybe the open hardware and science community. We have to think about maybe having our own kind of computers, kind of IT solution, kind of doing our a lot of solution using the IT, what we have, I can say.
All right, thank you for that. And I also agree with you in almost every aspect, because I believe that the open hardware community can really bridge the gap, the technological gaps between several African countries, and Chad is a perfect example as you use. Thank you for that. Anyone has any questions, please?
I have a quick question. Hello, Hamid. I'm Ricardo from Brazil. Congratulations for the inspiration, for the work you are, and the challenges you are going to. I have one question that is quite, we've been having the discussion in Brazil these days, that the makerspace in the format that we see in the United States and that we see in Europe, in Brazil is just for education purpose, you have this maker space where people go there and blah blah. But the real maker space that we have here are the space from metalworks or carpenters or basic electronics like fixing TV and this kind of things. And we were thinking on how this is a challenge, to bring this makerspace ideas into this already established micro industry in the country, this metalworks and whatever. So my question to you is, as you are also leading the new industrialization of Chad, how is this small industry in your country? How they are situated, like this small services, half industry, half service, and how do you think the makerspace can grab together with the industry in Chad for a future much further than just makerspace for education, distinct educational reasons?
Thank you so much, Ricardo, for your question, and thank you for joining us from Brazil. This is like one of the good side of technology, to connect, the unconnected people like us in the middle of nowhere, like, yeah. So it's a pleasure to hear your voice, and for me, I always, like, even in the term of like the digital transition of chat, like, my vision is toward, a PP, like a public private partnership, until we get that, we cannot really do the digital transition, And for example, in terms of edtech or in terms of meditech, we can use, today in chat, if somebody break his hand or his leg or a car broke down or something like this, we have to wait for the spares to come from Nigeria or from Europe, or if you want to prothesize, it has to come from Europe or from Egypt or from other countries. I believe, if we have a private and the public together, we can have, this maker space, maybe use it by the incubator, by the startup, by the hardware community, but it can be a source of solution. We can, print out prothesizes. We can print out so many spares for cars, for the industry, and it can be, a local contextualized solution. This is one, maybe a reason I believe, we have to work on the public-private partnership. The second thing is the edutech, for example. Why not, use this maker space, this fab lab, to inspire young people, yes, to build solution, yes, but not just the community of hardware. Why not, think in terms of, the country, think about, the whole country and maybe the whole Africa. How can we build solution, inspire young generation, and also build solution that can be used? It just not, and that's one of my main problems sometimes with the founder, the founder, the great founder who fund so many project, for youth here to be inspired. And I believe, you can inspire a person and get to a solution, to a usable solution, and then, this is going to be an inspiration and at sometimes a solution. And, I'm still advocating for the public-private partnership. Thank you.
Okay. You can speak, please. For those who have your hands up. May.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, my name is Abubakar Ismail. I'm also from Chad, from same country with Mr. Hamid. So I'm actually living in China, and I'm a student and also a big passion of tech. So what I need to ask Mr. Hamid, so as a young Chadian person, so what I need to do to bring some contribution in the Chad innovations.
Oh, interesting. Thank you. Like, yeah, China is the giant, that's why I studied in India. I studied in Bangalore. I did a master of computer application from Bangalore University. And I believe, for example, with China, how they are doing with the West, for example, like using technology for waste management, using technology for aspiring young generation. A lot of things need to be done here. So I believe, but the real challenges is, for example, I study in India and I saw exactly that if I am studying, like, for example, electric engineer, first of all, I study electric engineer for my country and for my city and maybe for my village. I came out always, I saw some Indian, brought energy from a small dam or small things towards their village. So they are really solution-minded people. This is I can suggest you to believe or to think about a solution with the skill you have, or maybe with what you love, and maybe propose it to Chat Innovation, and maybe together we can see what can we do. A small solution, I can say, we are still using this pump, like motoricity pump to pump water. I saw in India so many like engineer or mechanic they cut. If I have a bicycle, I cut a bicycle. If I have a motorbike, I cut a motorbike, and I link it to the pump, and I just start, the motorbike, and then wherever I am accelerating the speed, it pumps the water. This can be a solution. So in the IT field, sometimes I believe we are the one who study abroad, and we come back. Sometimes we come back with solution, but it's not a real solution adapted to the Chadian context. We come back with a lot of we need an office, we need to do a big things, but the giant is hiding or in the small thing. How can together, me and you, the Chadian community, can help you to find a solution through your skills to a small Chadian problem, one step at a time, and all when we gather, it's going to be a source of solution, and maybe we can on the map, in terms of technology, in terms of so on. I hope I reply to your.
Much, Mr. Hamid.
Thank you. Anyone has any more questions, please? Simon? Hello, Simon.
Yes, hello. Greetings, everybody. Happy to hear, a deeper context from the African maker and open science hardware ecosystem. Personally, I've been involved almost 4 years between Germany and Namibia. And what I learned there is especially also the entrepreneurial spirit. I learned it actually in the African side to take ownership and step up, and that inspired me actually in my later career path. And also with the open source hardware project that we are running, it's going to be released soon, Libre Water, about solar powered drinking water systems. We'll be really looking forward to also the African perspective on innovation. Because in the more privileged country like my home country, Germany, we have sometimes forgotten how to be resourceful, how to make with what we have. And I'm really looking forward when the project is more ready to connect further also to the African ecosystem, really on a very common base. But the comment that I had in mind earlier is I see a big opportunity. I mean, I'm calling now from Greece, and also Greece, many people have left Greece to look for better opportunities somewhere else. And also Hamid, like you've been going abroad. So in the open source and open science hardware field, I see actually great opportunity for, let's say, the more privileged who could go abroad, but who know very well the challenges and the cultural context and the language, to be connected through open source and open science hardware projects to, let's say, lift the people up in their home country to give back from abroad. Are there already projects running in that direction, or do you have some ideas for that?
Child innovation is a open community, as an open Africa. We have even, like some German with us, some friend of us who've been living in Chad, and they felt what is really the Chadian community is going through, coming from Germany where everything is done, and here we have energy challenges, we have a lot of challenges. And when they go inside Chad and they come back, they see the opportunity, but at the same time, they see the challenges. So I have so many people volunteer, telling me to do this or that. Some are just giving a call to help the Chadian community. Some are saying, you are doing this campaign, raising even some amount of money to build things. So we have a target to have a solution, or maybe a link, the Chadian diaspora to the chat, find together a solution. We have this kind of project in our map, and then it's not yet things, but we are still using it. Like, for example, right now, Chad is going through the transition, and we wanted to build a platform to hold, the government and to gather all the recommendation of the national dialogues, and then it can be a source of holding accountable the government. And also we open a reach for those people we cannot go outside, we cannot speak, to give their opinion through a form. You can say, hey, this is me, I'm a Chadian, I believe this law or this bill or this and that can be a good source of thing. And we're going to work with the government, with civil society, with everyone in order. Where is good, we can say to the government, this is good. Where is bad, we can say, hey, government, this is not going. How can you improve this, So we have into this mind. But anyways, we are open to I hear that you are working in the, you have a hardware open community. You have also working in the energy and water sector. We have even a small kind of solution. It can be, we can work maybe to make it look maybe nicer. And we believe deep down, we tried, we experimented, it can be a source of solution. You can pump your water and you can carry this to your home. You can have electricity in your home. And then when there is a problem, you can carry out or service somewhere. So this is, we can discuss this more. And if you can support us, I believe, so many volunteers goes maybe where it's easy, I believe, So like this is a call for some volunteers. Chad is also an easy country, and we are doing a lot on the ground, and we need a support, a real support. We don't need just somebody who can send computer to us. Is a good thing, but I believe, we have to work on the mindset. Sometimes people believe, the change is a process, and the process is to implement people, how to change. And once they get that, everything else will follow up, Thank you.
All right, thank you, Hamid. Simon?
Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed the conversation. So I think we are all doing well and striving to harness our abilities to solve the solutions within our respective countries, and also make these solutions quite easily accessible for everyone within our community to be able to replicate it elsewhere. It's a good way to go, and I really can resonate with what Hamid had been saying, because most of us tend to go along with what is dominating, and it seems that, you see, like what you were saying earlier on, majority of the things that we are busily learning and implementing are solutions that are not necessarily tied to the challenges within our area, but much more westernized or Europeanized, you get me, platform. So we tend to go with what is trending just for a mode of survival, and because of that, it seems that we are always lacking. So I'm happy that you are calling for not necessarily only resource, let's say financial or resource support, but changing mindset. So, and I believe it's hard time we actually sit down to think about the African engineering, the African innovation that really solves us, that helps us gain back our identity. Because I believe we are losing touch on some of these things, and although we keep on developing, we keep on coming up with new innovations, they are not sustainable in Africa. Majority of currently, if you come to in Ghana, although there are lots of agri-tech and a couple of things that are going on, the techies that are really raising money are those in fintech, right? And every young developer is aiming at getting into fintech because that's what's making money. But native to the land, what are our resources? What are we best at? Where do we need support? Because basically, you look at agri-tech, which or investors already also have an eye because we have a rich and arable land in the country. But how many people even want to do agri-tech, and how strong is agriculture? You get me? And these are things that we are really not looking at. And even current existing solutions within the agri-tech space are kind of a bit skewed. So I think it's hard time we really sit down and work on our mindset. It's been good listening and enjoying this conversation. Thanks a lot, Hamid, and everyone for your contribution. And I want to also add, Simon, I'm also currently in Germany doing my master's, and I'll be very happy to connect to be able to support the open science hardware community in Germany. So get to learn a little bit so that when I'm done, when I get back, I'll be able to apply some of the things that are relevant to solving local problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon. Anyone has any more questions, please? Sophie, finally. Hi, Sophie.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm happy about that. So, good afternoon, everybody. I am Sophie Ngassa from Yaoundé, Cameroon. I'm the founding director of Anasta Hub, based in Yaoundé. It's actually a peace building makerspace. So I want to thank Hamid for his very brilliant presentation, and I'm happy that he's talking with a lot of experience running a makerspace. So I have this question for Hamid. Given that technological processes are a bit slow in Central Africa, that is, if we compare it with what is happening in the East African countries, what advice can you give to a young makerspace that is still trying to grow and wants to develop? What are some points that you can consider to say as advice to a young makerspace, especially in the Central African region? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us. And yeah, it's great to see that you are building a like a peace maker space. You know, this question of peace building is, you know, essential to us. You know, sometimes I believe like it's something coming from outside. You know, the UN people coming, peace builder, peace building, and things like that. And if you dig down into our culture, you know, peace building or mediator has been, you know, in for decade, you know, in our, you know, culture, Africans, you know, when this village has a problem with this village, like sometimes we find the middle, you know, like the person who's his mom is from this village and his dad is from the other village, and he's the one who's going to be in the middle. And sometimes we end a problem or things like while, you know, sitting under the big tree of the chief of the village. You know, this is the building process in your, you know, and then it come there and it come back to us in a way like you know, now it became more beautiful, like peace building. It's an African process, I believe, you know, and everything is in the Africa, you know, like we have just to observe, you know, we have to be really observing, you know, sometimes, like, yeah. And I always give this in terms of technology, you know, African, we are being doing a lot of sharing, you know. I laid a whole home, and inside the home I do a sharing, you know. A room I give a small amount, and this been in our, you know, culture for ages, and we never thought about digitalization system, you know. One guy came to Africa and he saw that, and he digitalized, and it became, you know, today Airbnb, it's sharing. It's been there for Africa for ages. Even if you took the taxi, the Uber thing, in Cameroon since ages. I've been to Douala, and I go and come back, go and forth to Douala for so many reasons, because it's open to the sea and a lot of things coming from this side. If you see the Uber in Cameroon, for example, taxi, we've been sharing taxi for so long, but we never thought about, digitalization. So now it became a solution. It's a worldwide usage, So this has been said, to come back to your questions. I believe, we have to work hard. That's the first thing. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to have a good kind of co-founder or a teammate that can, believe into your vision, because sometimes Africans, and I can say, we are not much having a same vision, and sometimes we gather together to do some great thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So first of all, you have to have a good team, people like behind you, supporting you, and maybe when you are low, you don't believe anymore in this idea, also they can cheer you up and they can say, no, we believe in this idea. We have also to not go against the flow. We have to go with the flow, like we have to be online. We have to show off. I believe it's the right term. We have to show off that what we are doing. We do a lot of things sometimes without, taking picture, without saying like we did this or that. You have to show. And in this show, like so many people are on Twitter, on Facebook, and they will come to you and they will verify like if really what you are saying online or what you are advertising is you. And once they make the parallel between, what you do in the social network and what you do on the ground is matching, I believe this is where you start, getting small fund. They will start with funding and giving you a small and one and things. But at the, end, it's, again, it's the vision. As you have a great vision of doing things, the other things, once you work, it will follow. It will definitely follow, and then you can, get a source of funding or build projects that are really, getting funded. So this is my opinion, and maybe let's. I'm working on building a safer peace building space with chat innovation to try. So I'm looking for partner. Maybe we can dig down together to say, and maybe to work on some small project and to try and see. I hope I answer your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Simon, you have another question?
No, please, just a little contribution, right? So, from my experience with regards to building hubs, had the opportunity to contribute to the establishment of 2 different hubs across the Western region, and also being able to support majority of the hubs through the work I've done with AfricaOSH at Ghana Hubs Network. I reside a lot with what that Hamid have said, but the little contribution I want to Sophie is that we don't necessarily do it because of the funding. Majority of the funding that comes within our space already all have their own agenda, and if you don't stick to your vision, you'll get to a time you will just be ticking boxes. You want to certify the criteria that shows that you've done this, you've done this, you've done that, right? But what will keep you going is, like Hamid said, telling your stories, right? You get better, larger platforms, and especially within this ecosystem. I remember during the 2019 makerspace gathering in Accra, one of the panelists said the best supportive can actually go for, or the best currency within this ecosystem is collaboration, right? I remember, I think that was Babasine Daniel says the best currency within this within the ecosystem is collaboration, and that is what you should be striving at. That's what you should be striving at. Looking at people like Hamid has opened up the platform for people within chat to connect. If the best way you can really hope to survive for long and stick to your mission is they might not necessarily share your entire vision, but so long as they are doing things that are within forms part of what you aim to do, collaborate, and as you do that, you build up on your portfolio, and it keeps telling the story. You build quite a rich network of resources that can help you harness or be able to do the things you want to do. Or it's not how much money you raise that really tells of your impact, but the ability for you to, in no matter what small avenue that you get, be able to execute and impact lives. That is what is really important, because you might get all the money and be very frustrated. And we have a lot of frustrated people within the ecosystem, although they have the funding, but it's tiring when it's not aligned with your vision and goals. So just to keep that in mind, I just wanted to let you know on these things so that it serves as a guiding principle so that you can actually outlive some of the expectations that or generally be able to feel fulfilled in doing the things that you do, because you will not necessarily always get the support. And normally, even when you start telling a story, it takes a while. It takes quite a long while before you start getting maybe funding or support from outside. So you do it because you want to do it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Simon. We're way past our closing hour, and does anyone have any more questions? Yes, Louise, the recording has been the session is being recorded, and I will share it with everyone else soon. All right, so thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Hamid, for being a part of this and for telling us about Child Innovation Hub. Next month we would have another community call, and I would send out the details later. And the recording for this session would be sent to everyone. So thank you all so much for your contribution, and thank you all so much for joining. And I'll hopefully see you again next month.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.